Episode 64, Ancestry. So we're going to take a look at the MacLeod ancestry, the history of a few of the MacLeods that we know of in Glengarry. So your ancestry, your history, the generations that have come before you are very important. Here's the wall of the UEL Museum in Williamstown. And you can see that over the years, it's been engraved by the people that live here. Actually, these were students that went to this school. This used to be a school 100, 150 years ago. And they've all engraved their names on the wall. That's how important it is to remember your ancestry. Well, we're looking at the MacLeods of Glengarry, from 1793 to the present, and specifically the family of John MacLeod, whose father came here on the ship MacDonald in 1796. Now we have the MacLeod settlement, and we know many MacLeods settled in Glengarry. This monument, this cairn, was dedicated to them. The holdfast symbol is their clan motto. And here's just a few of the MacLeods that have lived in Glengarry that are remembered here. Now John MacLeod, we found his house, and we found some artifacts of the MacLeods, and this was all very interesting. It led us to learn more about John MacLeod. This was all in Season 1 of Mystery Secret Searchers. The triaqua symbol, the Celtic symbols, very important. The Scottish heritage, very important to these clans, MacLeod, MacDonald, McRae, etc., that came as Scottish Highlanders to a new land back in the late 1700s. They had to build their own buildings, clear their farmland, try to get food. It was a very hard existence for many, many years. But these were sturdy Scottish types, and they did their best. We found the gravestone of John MacLeod as well, and we found lots of written documentation about the MacLeods in Glengarry. So we set out to fill out what we thought was a family tree, the ancestry of the MacLeods in Glengarry. And this is based partly on what we read in the Chronicles of Curiosity that John MacLeod wrote between 1855 and 1892, and the information, the research that we've learned along the way. So, in terms of ancestry, we have Angus John MacLeod. He was a descendant of a MacLeod chieftain, part of the clans that were displaced during the Highland clearances. This was in 1762 in Scotland, the land tenure reform, removal of the clan-based type of society. He was a farmer, a political reformer, a fur trader, a gold prospector. He knew about Leod's blade, the cursed sword of the clan MacLeod, and he knew Reverend Alexander MacDonald as well. He went out west fur trading between 1803 and 1807. In Glengarry, he married Catherine MacLeod, Catherine Cameron, but she passed away in 1787 during childbirth, giving birth to Henry Angus MacLeod, born 1787. Now Angus John MacLeod, who went out fur trading, he remarried. He married a Métis woman, Elizabeth Smithson. That was in 1808. Rumors of gold kept them in British Columbia. Meanwhile, Henry Angus MacLeod, who was born in 1787, at 15 years of age, he left his land in Lochiel and joined the fur traders. He returned in 1805. He died, we believe, in the War of 1812 with the Glengarry Fencibles. And he was taken in by Reverend Alexander MacDonald at age 15. So when his mother died and his father went off out west, he was looked after basically by the Reverend. He is thought to have died in the War of 1812, but we've uncovered some evidence that maybe suggests he lived, and maybe he lived a lot longer than that. Meanwhile, Angus John MacLeod and his Métis wife, Elizabeth Smithson, they had a son, John Henry MacLeod, who was born in 1809. He returns to Glengarry and the Lochiel farm in 1826. He also participates in military service to support Upper Canada against the American attacks but he dies in 1891. He marries Charlotte Cameron in 1830. Charlotte dies 1855. Now there is a little bit of confusion about who Charlotte Cameron actually married, because we have John Henry MacLeod, that was the son of Angus John MacLeod and Elizabeth Smithson, his matey wife. We also have Henry Angus MacLeod, which was the son of Angus John MacLeod and Catherine Cameron. But we'll work this out soon in upcoming episodes.